Good day, ma'am. My name is Lorence Supat.
And I am Fabillar.
I am a Filipino inheritor of a glorious past, hosted to an uncertain future. As such, I must prove equal to a twofold task, the task of meeting my responsibility to past and the task of performing my obligation to the future. I sprung from a hardly raised child many generations removed of ancient Malaysian pioneers across the centuries to the memory comes rushing back to me. Of brown skinned men putting out to sea in ship that we are frail as their hearts were out. Over the sail I see the calm borne up the billowing wave and whistling wind carried upon the mighty wheel of hope in the free abundance of new land that was to be their home and their children's forever. This is the land they sought and found, every inch of shore that their eyes first sit upon, every hill and mountain that break down to them with a green and purple in visions. This is a land they sought and found, every inch of shore that our eyes first sit upon, every hill and mountain that back beckoned to, to them. A green and purple invitation, every mile of rolling plain that their view encompassed, every river and lake that promised a plentiful living and the fruitfulness of commerce is a loud spot to me. The strength of their hearts and hands, by every right of law, human and divine, this land and all opportunities, the rough, the black, and the fertile soil. The seas and lakes and rivers teeming with fish, the forests wherein the inexhaustible wealth in wild life and timber. The mountains with their bowels swollen with minerals. The whole of this rich and happy land has been accomplished without number. The land of my fathers, this land I received in trust from them, and I trust will pass it my children and on until the world is no more.
I am a Filipino. In my blood runs the immortal seed of hero seed that flowered down the centuries in deeds of courage and defiance. In my veins yet pulses the same hot blood that sent Lapu-Lapu to battle against the first invader of this land. That nerve Lakandula in the combat against the alien foe that drove Diego Silang and the Guhi into rebellion against the foreign oppressor.
That seed is immortal. It is the self-same seed that flowered in the heart of Jose Rizal that morning in Bagumbayan, when a valley of shoots put an end to all that was mortal of him and made his spirit deathless forever. The same that flowered in the heart of Bonifacio and Balintawak, of Gregorio del Pilar at Tirad Pass, of Antonio Luna at Kalumpit, that bloom in flowers of prostration in the sad heart of Emilio Aguinaldo at Palanan, and yet burst forth royally again in the proud heart of Manuel L. Quezon when he stood at last on the threshold of ancient Malacanang Palace. In the symbolic act of possession and racial vindication, the said, I bear within me is an immortal seed. It is the mark of my manhood, the symbol of dignity as a human being, like the seed that were once buried in the tomb of Tutankhamen many thousand years ago. It shall grow and flower and bear fruit again. It is the insignia of my race and my generation. It but a stage in the search of people of freedom and happiness. I am a Filipino, child of the marriage of the East and the West. The East with its linger of mysticism, its passivity and endurance was my mother, and my sire was the West that came thundering across the seas with the cross and sword.
I am of the East, an eager participant in its spirit, and in its struggles for liberation from the imperialist yoke. But I also know that the East must awake from its censured sleep, shake off the lethargy that has bound his limbs, and start moving where destiny awaits. For I, too, am of the West, and the vigorous peoples of the West have destroyed forever the peace and quiet that once were ours. I can no longer live a being part from those whose world now trembles to the roar of band and cannot shut. I cannot say of a matter of universal life and death, of freedom and slavery for all mankind, that it concerns me not. For no man and no nation is an island, but a part of the main. There is no longer any east and west, only individuals and nations making those momentous choices which are the hangings upon which history resolves. At the vanguard of progress in this part of the world, I stand a forlorn figure in the eye of some, but not